Hi, welcome for our RTL online training sessions. So in this session, we'll take another assignment related for order management module. Now, let's say when we are working in the project, your team leader or your project manager has asked you to configure the customer, and let's populate the customer in sales order page in order management. So when we are working with order management module, we'll be doing a lot of setups we are going to perform. Okay. So in those setups, customer setup is one of the important setup for the customer. Okay. So now what the task is, create a new customer and populate this customer in your sales order page. Okay. So that's the assignment. So here our first thing is, first we have to understand customer data model. What is customer data model? Nothing but a hierarchy. When we are going to enter the information for the customer, what levels of information we will capture. Then second one, we have to understand how to assign this customer, to the business unit. Nothing but a branch. We are supposed to assign to the branch. Okay. Then third one is add order management role to the user, and then provide data access to the user so that user can go ahead with create sales order page. So if you want to go ahead with the user, make sure that you have to hire an employee. Already, if you have an employee, no problem. Then go for add the role to the user. Okay. So we already having the employee, right? We have already have an employee, and we have seen that in our previous in previous assignment, in procurement assignment, we have already discussed how to hire an employee, how to create a user account. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead with the same name, and then we'll just go for add the new roles which are required for order management, and then we'll try to create a sales order. Okay. So now the customer setup we are supposed to perform. Whenever we are supposed to perform some setups, we have to understand the concept behind that. Okay. So customers, we know that every client, when they are doing the business means customers, obviously it will be there. Okay. So when we are going to work with the customers, that customers will be having different sites, nothing but a branches. Okay. So when we are creating a customer, system will ask you want to go with the person or organization. Let me show you. So we have to do it from setup and maintenance. Go to FSM environment here. Go to financials. Customer comes in financials as well as in order management. We can do it from order management also. It's a shared common task in both the modules. Now we are going to create a customer. So client will ask you to configure the customer like this from the front end. For example, we are implementing Fusion SCM very first time. Client is already having some 50,000 customers. They are maintaining all these 50,000 customers data in another ERP software. So now we want to go for load those 50,000 customers data from legacy systems into our Fusion applications. That's what we call it as a data migration process. For that, we'll be using spreadsheet data loader, APDA data loader. This all comes in our training. We'll be discussing how we can go for migrate the data from legacy systems into applications. Now we are going ahead with the customer, create customer. So whenever we are creating customer, system is asking customer type. Is it person or organization? Because we will be selling the goods or service to the individuals, nothing but person. We will also sell the goods or service to the organizations, nothing but companies. We'll be doing it for both, right? So right now, whatever the customer I'm going to create, this is for organization purpose. I'm creating customer type as organization. I'm going to specify here the customer name as OSI Digital Systems is the customer. How about customer account? Account is nothing but just some number to maintain the complete accounting, complete transactions, whatever the sales we have done for this particular customer. Customer can have multiple accounts with us. They can have multiple accounts with us. Okay. So this is not bank account number. This is just to maintain the customer sales information and tracking the complete business with our customer. We will give or we will allocate some number. That's what we call it as account number. Okay. So this account I'm just using external customer, and the customer is related for public sector companies, and account address is very important. Whatever the address we are going to create, customer address, that will be assigned for reference data set. This is very important in the interviews and as well as in the project also. So we'll be creating the customer, but that customer will not be populated in our business unit sales order page. The reason is we might have given the wrong set name. Set is nothing but a reference data set. Okay, I'll give you an example where it will work. Set. Let me open the Excel sheet here. Let's say here we have customer and our company is having 4 branches. Our company is having 4 branches. Now, if you do not have reference data set concept, RDS concept, if you do not have this, you have to assign this customer. You have to assign this customer to this business units one by one. If you want to make it available for this customers, we have to go with 4 times. So we have to go with 4 times over here it is. We are supposed to specify here 4 times. We have to assign the customer to BU1, assign this customer to BU2, BU3 and BU4. Like that we have to go for do this here. Where is this address lines? So we will go for assign this customer to the business units individually. We are going to do this here. Okay. So individually we are trying to perform over here it is. But if we have the concept called reference data set concept, instead of adding to the business units one by one, we will assign the customer to reference data set. Then reference data set will be assigned for the business units. That's what we are going to do this setup right now. Let's go to our here. I'm using the reference data set called cust site. So this is already assigned for our branch, nothing but our business unit. Okay. So what we have entered here, customer details, customer account information, customer account address information. And this address details we have to specify. Address details we have to specify. OSI site sales@osi.com, Chicago, and postal code. So this is address we have configured here. And this address purpose, this address, whatever customer address is there, what is the purpose of this customer address? Is it for shipping purpose or billing? Generally, you might have seen if you open any account in online websites, like Amazon, Flipkart, any other, there will be two addresses they will be asking you, shipping address and billing address. Sometimes what happened, we are staying in the same place and the same we wanted to utilize as a ship to as well as bill to, right? So the same way we are going to specify the purpose of this particular address. The purpose of this particular address we are going to manage here. If you have one is shipping, another one is for billing, we can go for create multiple addresses. Multiple addresses we can go for create. Now I am utilizing the same address is ship to as well as bill to. Purpose is shipping purpose, then it will ask you billing. That's why first we'll make it as bill to, then we'll make it as ship to here. This options. Okay. So this is how we will go for specify the options over here. It is shipping as well as billing. So what we have done right now, we created customer account address, and address purpose. I enabled both shipping as well as billing. We can search for our customer, whatever customer we have created. Let's search here. Here, customer account is there, site is there, everything has been listed. One customer can have either one account or multiple accounts. We can have multiple accounts and also we can have multiple addresses over here. We can also have multiple addresses over here. It is. Okay, now it's done successfully. Customer we have configured successfully. Now we wanted to check whether this customer is going to be populated in sales order page or not. Okay, so what we have to do, we need to go for assign this roles, order management roles to the user. So we have created customer. We discussed what is the customer data model. What is customer data model? Customer, customer account address, customer account address purpose. This is the data. Data model is nothing but a hierarchy. Parent and child relationship hierarchy we are going to have it here. Okay. Next, we are going to add the order management roles to the user. So whenever we want to work with any module, first we have to identify what are the roles are there related to that particular module. So as I said in our previous session, we have around 4 to 5. We have around 4 to 5 roles which are defined by Oracle. Built-in roles we will find. Okay, so these roles we are going to assign to the user. Sometimes client will ask you to modify. Sometimes we'll go for create a new role. If existing one is not suitable, then we are supposed to go for create a new one. Okay, so now I'm going to assign the role. Where do we work with the roles and user management? Navigator, tools menu, security console. Where do we find the role names for a particular module? We have to go to documentation. We have to go to documentation. Okay, so let's go to security console. I'll show you the documentation also right away. You can go through. We have to search for Oracle OER. An excellent documentation as given by the Oracle. Oracle OER documentation. Oracle Enterprise Repository. Oracle Enterprise Repository. Cloud applications. Here we'll find order management. Go to all books. You can find the documentation which is related for the order management module, manufacturing, social network, order management, order promising, GOP process, product development. We'll be talking about all order management, GOP and everything here. Here. Okay. So now let's go to the users tab here. We are trying to add the order management roles to the user. So go to users tab. What is our username? John underscore Kalinan. In our previous session, we added procurement, right? We added procurement manager. Now we are going to add order manager. We are going to add the order management. Order administrator. There might be number of roles. We don't need to worry about that. Order administrator, order entry specialist, order entry specialist. Two roles we have added. Once we add the roles, next what we have to do, we are supposed to assign the data access. You got the permission to create a sales order, but for which branch? When you add the role to the user, what will happen? User can open the page. In that page, let's say you have 5 business units, nothing but 5 branches, nothing but 5 branches. So all these 5 branches, whatever we have, that which branch you want to go for create, which branch you want to go for create the sales orders. That's what we have to give the data access to the user. Let's perform that activity here. Now let's go to FSM environment, setup and maintenance. Here only we will provide data access to the users here. You can do it this task data access either from finance or from order management, from anywhere we can do that. Let's go to financials here. Data access. Manage data access for users. Choose the task username, then role name, order administrator, assign the security. So we are going to use common reference data set and then go for another role. So you will come to know later in our training what is reference data set, common and custom reference data set options. Now we are going for order entry specialist. Here we will assign our business unit. Like this, we will provide the access to the user to work with multiple business units or single business unit. Right now, I have assigned single BU. In case if you want to provide the access to the multiple business units, same way we will perform. Okay, we'll see that once we create sales order, and we'll come back and again we'll go for associate with this. Let's come back to LDAP process. Once we assign the data access, we must synchronize the users and roles information. So we have to run this program. We call it as LDAP. It's mandatory. Once we assign the role, we don't need to worry about that because roles will directly activated. The role access will be directly activated, but data access we must have LDAP process. It's mandatory. Go for submit. Just log out and log into the applications. Go to navigator here. Sales order. We added order management roles, right? Go to order management, order. Now we are getting the order management entry. This is the page. We call it as functional area. This we call it as functional area where we are going to get all this information here. So now go for create order. We are going to create sales order here. Here we can find the customer details. Search for the customer. What is our customer name? OSI Digitals. That is the customer name, right? Click search button. This is what the customer we are getting. Customer, and then we will find customer billing address, shipping address. This all details we are going to have. Bill to customer, bill to account, ship to customer, ship to address. This all we got it here. And then we will be able to create an item here. Sales order item. We will go for pick the item. These items comes from the inventory model. We are going to get these all items from inventory. While working with this item configuration, we'll make this item as a sales item and it's automatically populated over here. Okay. So this is how we can go for doing the setups. So we have done a single setup that is called customer. Like this, hundreds of setups we are supposed to perform. Now, if we look at here, we given the permission to create the sales orders only for one business unit. It means this employee can create sales orders only for this business unit. But my client is asking, he is a manager. Let's give the access to create for multiple business units. Okay. Then what we have to do? Again, we have to go for provide the data access for another business unit. It means this particular task again we have to perform. This particular task again we have to perform. Okay. Let's go to FSM environment here. Let's go to FSM environment here, setup and maintenance. And go to the financials or order management, no issue, because that is a common task we'll find everywhere. Manage data access for users. Manage data access for users. I just want to know what data access current user is having. You can search users with data access. Before I assign the data access to the employee, I just wanted to check what are the existing data access this user is having. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll go for select users with data access and choose your username here. Select this here. Click search button. We'll come to know what data access we got. So this user is having the access to work with procurement module, US1 business unit, order management module, US1 business unit only. Now the user wants to have one more business unit permission. So go for this. Again, choose the username. And choose the role name. Order entry specialist. And choose the business unit. We given already permission for US1. Now I'm giving the access to US2 business unit. I'm giving the permission to US2 business unit. Select this, save and close. Again, we have to run the LDAP process. Go to initial users, or we have to wait for a couple of minutes, 5-10 minutes, because somebody might have submitted this LDAP process. It will work for us also. Or this LDAP process might be scheduled. According to the scheduled timing, it will be executed. Generally, when we are working in the real time, it will be scheduled. So now I'm just trying to submit here. Just log out from admin and try to log in with our username and perform the activity here. John Cullinan is trying to create sales order. Then system should allow for any of the business unit, either US1 or US2 business. Go to order management. Now I can find, see, multiple business units this employee is able to access because we given the access for this. Okay, so and we are going to choose the customer name here. I can choose the business unit. According to that, we can go ahead. Right. So this is customer configuration and associate multiple business units to the sales order page, and we'll be performing all these details. Okay. Thank you.